Welcome everyone to today's video lecture on reading comprehension. In this session, we will delve into the essential skills and strategies to become a proficient reader, as well as we come up with one of the text and we will solve a couple of questions pertinent to it. So let's get started on this journey to becoming better readers as well as to solve such kind of a critical reasoning type of questions and some of the indirect and inference based questions. So look into it. Here there is a text. So the text give us the question that pertains here, but pertains to the text. So what does the text say here? Uh, Before we go to the text, let me point out the direction for question is what? Now, there is a passage, below is accompanied by a set of questions. We need to choose the best answer to each question. Well, I assume that you must have read the text and understand it. Mhm. Yet, I would like to give a very small details pertaining to the text. So, here the text discusses the significance of shoes, right? So the text having with nothing but four paragraph, 1, 2, and 3 and 4 paragraph. So, and the first paragraph, first to the fourth paragraph, all are coherent to each other or one another. So the passage discusses the importance of shoes and their relationship to human identity and mobility. It begins with the author's experience, right? It begins with what? Author's experience, and you could say that author's experience at the beach, where the joy of walking barefoot is interrupted encountered when they encounter rough terrain and acknowledge the importance of shoes. The text also delves into the phenomenological aspect of shoes, emphasizing that their fundamental role is not just in appearance, but what you can say that, uh, but in how they affect one's freedom. One's freedom, isn't it? One's freedom. Not only freedom, but also you can talk about mobility, mobility, and also self-understanding. Self-understanding, self-understanding, right? Um, so it explores the idea that shoes symbolize what and contribute to what. So shoes actually symbolize and contribute to, you can talk about human identity, human identity, and also mentioning examples like the trope of a woman's ideal state being, you can say that barefoot and pregnant. So here you would find out somewhere where it is given about barefoot and pregnant. Um, the author stated, yes, you can see that barefoot and pregnant. It also stated about foot binding and fashionable um, foot binding and fashionable fetishization. Um, Even it is also stated about high-heeled women's shoes, impractical high-heeled shoes. So, and finally, the passage concludes by what? The passage concludes with the Vincent Van Gogh's, right? Vincent Van Gogh's painting of old pair shoes, mm, highlighting the depth of meaning that can be associated with the seemingly mundane object, right? Overall, the text highlights, you can say that as it talks about shoes, uh, so it tries to give the main idea about how shoes are not, how shoes are not, shoes are not just footwear, right? So, but a part of one's identity, right? So, and a reflection of the human experience. Hope you understood. So, this is what the whole text tries to draw. Now, if I talk about the author's tone in the passage, so you must have Draw the author's tone. So what would be the author's tone here? Um, so author's tone in the passage can be described as, something like a contemplative and reflective. The style is nothing but a descriptive one, um, descriptive and philosophical too, and you can say that it tries to go into the deeper meaning of everyday objects like shoes, right? So, if I talk about the main idea of the text, so the main idea of the passage is nothing but to explore the significance of shoes in human or importance of shoes in human life, focusing on their impact on mobility, identity, and self-understanding. Identity and self-understanding, isn't it? So it suggests that shoes are not just practical item, but play a symbolic role in defining who we are, right? So, and overally, if you talk about the author brings with the kind of argument. So, what would be the argument here? The passage presents an argument by highlighting how shoes affect our mobility. Affect Shoes affect our mobility, freedom, and self identity. It argues that shoes are more than just functional item. So, at the end of it, conclusion, the passage concludes by alluding what? Alluding Van Gogh's painting of shoes, old shoes, and how they symbolize the um, essence of art and the hidden meaning within everyday object. It reinforces the idea that shoes are deeply intertwined, right? Uh, Intertwined with human identity and experience. So these are the means you can say that important elements of the text. Now let's move to the question. What does the question point out? It says that what does the third paragraph of the passage? Now here we understood that this would be the third paragraph. So what does the third paragraph of the passage primarily emphasize regarding the role of shoes in one's identity? Let's look into each of the options and analyze them. The first one says the psychological comfort of wearing shoes. Second one, the importance of the appearance of shoes in defining one's identity. Third, the symbolic foundation of human identity reinforced by impractical shoes. Fourth, the influence of shoes on social status and class distinction. Now, if I look into each of the options, so what I can find out, the third paragraph, on the basis of the third paragraph, I can say that the third paragraph of the passage tries to give the idea that the importance of the symbolic foundation of the human identity, right? Human identity that reinforced by impractical shoes, right? So impractical shoes. It suggests that shoes play a role in how we perceive ourselves and our identity, and this supports actually the option three, right? Where it is clearly stated the symbolic foundation of human identity reinforced by impractical shoes. So, which is most appropriate um, in this particular or to this particular question. Now, look into the option 1, 2, and 4. So, if I look into it, so they will be eliminated as they don't emphasize the primary focus of the third paragraph. So, we can consider option 3 would be the most appropriate and correct answer to the question. I hope you understood the summary and the different elements which have been pointed in this context. That's all. Thank you.